USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
This is Rob Long with Martini Shot for The Ankler. So let me explain the background noise. I'm at the Gare de Lyon in Paris, catching a train to the south of France, which sounds like a vacation. Nice one, actually. And is a vacation, but it's also my cowardly way, well, my chicken shit way, if you want to be blunt, of marking a birthday, one of the big ones, unfortunately, by scooting out of town. My birthday was a few weeks ago. Thank you. What a great idea. It's like you're on a retreat, said a friend of mine. No, I said, it's like I'm in retreat. Because, as I mentioned, it's a birthday that inspires a certain amount of gloomy introspection and a lot of, wait, this? This was what it was all along? Can I just start again? And you mean, you know, once we started, okay, all right, that's fine. Now, I was a young 24 when I started in show business, writing scripts for the most popular show on television, back when that meant 20 million or more people were watching all at once, not a few here and there, streaming whenever or queued up at the end of the week or 10 days, but all at once, in living rooms and airports and bars everywhere. And all you really need to know is that back then, shows were broadcast. That's how we put it. The show was broadcast. Now we say the show dropped. That's how we choose to put it. We dropped some shows. Hard to really keep up the mystique with that image, right? I mean, hey, look over there at the streamer dropping shows. Streaming, dropping, just sounds like show business is going to the toilet. And I know, I sound like an old man, one of those old entertainment industry guys you see, I wrote 62 Mr. Eds, I can't get a meeting. And, we used to do shows that said something. So I'm going to stop now. I'm just going to stop. It's enough of the old man stuff. Well, okay, one more. I am sitting here in a train station reading the Financial Times and an article that describes the new strategy over at Warner Brothers Discovery, which is to sell off units of the company, because apparently the very smart people over there discovered that large entertainment companies always sound better than they turn out to be. Now, smart people have been outwitting themselves on this score for decades. I mean, Transamerica, Coca-Cola, Seagram, GE, Paramount, Matsushita, Westinghouse. The list, as they say, is information. And Discovery, which it seems like just yesterday pushed all sorts of things together and now needs to split all sorts of the same things apart. And I am old enough to remember this exact thing happening every time there's a Hollywood gold rush era, which means I am reading an article in the Financial Times that could have been run and rerun many times over the years. And that's, I guess, sort of fitting for a business that survives on reruns and reboots. Okay, that was it. No more old man grouching. That's the end. I mean, a lot of this extra birthday heaviness is just temporary, I know. I mean, you look in the mirror or you see a picture of yourself. Well, I look in the mirror or see a picture of myself. And for a long time, I thought, wait, that's not me. We say that, don't we? That's not me. Is that me? God, do I look like that? When did I start looking like that? That's not me. I mean, that's not the me I see when I close my eyes. We say that's not me a lot, or at least I do. When we don't like something, we say, that's just not me. When we do something we're ashamed of, we often apologize by saying, I don't know who that was. That wasn't me. Now, at some point, and I am at that point, you're supposed to be able to look in the mirror and say, there I am. That's me. And because I've grown up really in show business, I tend to see the up and down cycles of it the same way I see the up and down cycles of my life. I mean, to hear something different, to be in a place that's not all about who is buying what and what they're looking for over at the streaming dropper. I mean, people go on vacation, I know, to relax and do nothing. I just want to turn off my brain, they say. But I think part of the problem with the entertainment business is that we think too much at work anyway, which in the entertainment business always means that we're thinking that we figured out how to stop taking chances. And that's odd because people running show business like to think that they're smart, that they figured something out, when the actual key to a long career in show business is to embrace a kind of ignorant recklessness. Just stop thinking and do it. I mean, it's also the key to a very short career in show business, but nobody said things had to make sense. I knew a very successful showrunner once who, for reasons that I'll never understand, just preferred to do everything the hard way. He wouldn't live in the fix-it-later lifestyle area that I have made a central article of faith for my ministry in show business. He wouldn't hear what we used to call in the writer's room, after trying unsuccessfully to fix a line, the call of the lazy bird, which goes essentially, cut the line, which is often the right thing to do, even though it's also, the laziest. No, his rule was fix, then cut. And that never made any sense to me. But I have a feeling it makes sense to some of the people now trying to cut Warner Brothers Discovery after they fixed it. Now, you can tell I've been struggling with my birthday because I think I just advocated being lazy and dumb. So let me rephrase that. For the decision makers in show business, for the executives and studio owners doing all of the streaming and dropping, what I recommend during this kind of complicated and transitional time in Hollywood isn't really to be lazy and dumb, but more to be not so smart and hardworking. And what I mean is this. The beating heart of show business, the bellwether for our industry, is comedy. And I know that sounds self-serving because that's what I do, but here's my logic. Comedy is defined by laughter. I mean, that's how you know something's funny, right? Because people are laughing, or better, because you have surprised yourself by laughing. Laughter is involuntary and can take you by surprise, and it's mostly impossible to explain. It just erupts. And we say, oh, I guess that was funny. Comedy is also cheaper than most everything else, and it lasts longer. I mean, I was walking through a museum recently, and they had placed a model of the new addition they're building, and a young man, maybe all of 20 years old, not much more than that, pointed to the model and said, "What is this, a museum for ants?" Now, he didn't speak English, I don't think, but he did speak fluent Zoolander, a movie that is nearly a quarter of a century old, but which is still really funny. But imagine for a moment that you're in the room 25 years ago when they're pitching Zoolander, and I don't know, is it funny when they're telling you about it? The scene when the male models set themselves on fire, or when Will Ferrell screams with that crazy hair, is it funny? Or do you just have to say, well, it's a really talented team that's going to make this movie, so I'm going to stop thinking now and just do the easy thing and say, go make this movie. I mean, that's all we can do. And I know it seems like we should be able to do more, to hedge more, to think more, to de-risk and develop and plan more, but we can't. And one of the things you learn when you're turning a certain age in a train station in France is that it's sort of liberating to realize that all of the things you can't do, that's fine. Because the really fun stuff, you can still do. Like laughing, for instance. That's always available to you. As long as you don't think too much. So when people ask me when Hollywood will sort itself out, I usually say this: when 3 consecutive hilarious, dumb, surprising comedies are released by, literally anybody within, say, 12 months, you'll know that show business is back. If you're an investor, I would sit on the sidelines until that unmistakable buy signal occurs, and then I'd pile into entertainment company stocks and start another gold rush and push all the now split up pieces back together, and then get out fast because you know what happens next, right? Or are we all too smart for that? Oh, wait. That's my train. But don't worry, I'm coming back next week. For The Ankler, this is Rob Long with Martini Shop.